Hello, I am Brian Sowers, designer and developer of Hey Cutie, a card game about dating your crushes, and I am here to teach you how to play the game. The goal of Hey Cutie is to go on dates with your crushes, where every crush wants something different out of a romantic partner, whether that's charm, brains, edge, or looks. To go out on dates, you pick up flirt cards, which all correspond to one of those stats and all have a value or power associated with them. To give you an edge, you can put on outfits and accessories which provide permanent buffs, and you can also purchase instantaneous power effects which can turn the tide of the game by letting you steal hands or remove crushes from the game. So how a round flow works is during a player's turn, they have 2 movement points to move their hearts on this stat tracker. They can either move 1 heart 2 spaces, or they can move 2 hearts 1 space. After they've moved, they get to pick up the flirt cards whose symbols match the symbols that the player landed on this tracker. So right now, because of where my hearts are, I can pick up 1 looks card, 1 charm card, 1 brains card, and 1 edge card. So I'll pick up this high power 3 edge card, this brains card, this charm card, and I'll pick up one of the face down looks cards. I won't know what it is ahead of time, but neither will my opponents, so they don't have a perfect impression of what's in my hand. Then I'm immediately going to restock the cards so that future players will have a choice of what to pick, being sure to always keep the bottom row face down. Now that I've picked up my cards, I have options available to me. If I have enough money in my hand, I can spend that money to buy either items or power cards to get bonuses. Also, if I think I have the cards to match what a crush wants, I can place one of my hearts down to signal my intent or woo the crush. This doesn't resolve until the end of the round, after all the players have gone. Once I'm satisfied that I've done everything in my turn that I want to do at this point, I would signal the end of my turn and then the next player would go. They would also get to move their stat trackers, pick up their cards, and they could use their hearts to signal the intent or woo a crush of their own. And then once they're done, the next player would go, and they could use their heart, and they could, if they wanted to, woo one of the crushes that has already been wooed. After all the players have gone, crushes resolve, or dates resolve. And how this works is we just go in a line, and if you placed a heart on a date, you are then responsible for placing the flirt cards whose stats and values meet or exceed everything that that particular crush wants. So in this case, if I'm trying to date Chloe, I'm playing 2 charm to exceed what she wants there, the 2 brains to meet the brains requirement that she has, and the 3 edge to meet what she wants in edge. She doesn't want anything in looks, so I wouldn't play anything for that. Now I've met her needs, so I get to date her. All of the flirt cards that I play immediately get discarded, and I take this card, which will be worth some number of points at the end of the game. If it comes to an instance where 2 players have tried to date the same person, then how this resolves is they pick the cards that they want to play to go out on that date, and they play them face down so that neither player knows who is playing what. Once they've picked their cards and put them face down, they are simultaneously revealed, and the totals of all the value cards that they used are added up. Now here, one important note is if the crush doesn't want something at all, they have a 0 in that, then those types of cards do not contribute at all. So in Gollum's case, only edge cards or wild cards are worthwhile. This player played a total of 2, 6, 7, 8, which just barely meets Gollum's needs. And this player paid a total of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Since this player has the highest total, they win the date, and they get to keep this card. It goes to them and it'll be worth points. And all of these, whether you were successful or not, get discarded. The player who loses, if they did still manage to meet that crush's needs, gets to draw a power card as a consolation prize, and it goes to them. After dating has resolved, the crush cards get restocked, the first player card passes in a clockwise fashion, and the next round begins. Play just keeps going around and around until one player has dated enough people to trigger endgame. In a 2 and 3 player game, endgame is triggered by 5 dates. In a 4, 5, and 6 player game, endgame is triggered by 4 dates. At the end of the game, once the last round is completed, scoring is totaled. Every date that a player went on is worth 2 points, just a flat 2 points, plus a hidden type card, which players are given at the beginning of the game, contributes extra points. In this case, this hidden type card gives 1 extra point for every 2 brains in the tableau of people you've dated. Here, since Chloe has 2 brains, she gets an extra point. Also, this card gives an extra point for every 3 edge, and since Chloe happens to have 3 edge, she gets another extra point. So this score would be a 4 at the end of the game. Whereas if I had a crush that didn't have any brains or any charm, that wouldn't give me any extra points. So players would all tally their points among the people that they dated, and the person with the highest score wins the game. If there's a tie, the person who had the most dates breaks the tie, and if there's a tie in that, the person who has the most cards in hand wins the tie. And if there's a tie there, love wins. Other small rules. There are 2 different types of items that you can purchase. There are outfits denoted by a business suit, and there are accessories denoted by a hat. A player can only ever have 1 of each type equipped. So if they purchase these 2, that would be fine. They have 1 outfit, 1 accessory. But then if they purchase the cute puppy, that is an accessory, they would have to replace the rocket launcher, immediately discard it, and that would be what they have equipped. Whenever you buy a thing, it gets immediately restocked. Power cards are instant effects. They cannot undo something that has already happened, but otherwise you can play them at any time, whether it's your turn or not. There are also wild cards in the deck. When drawing a wild card from the Flirt supply, you can use any stat symbol to pick that up. If it's face down, then you don't know it's wild, then you have to use the stat symbol that matches what is on the back of the card. Alright, that's everything. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to play Hey Cutie, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to drop me a line at bdsowers@gmail.com or @bdsowers on Twitter. Thanks again, have fun.